I was like, oh my God, should I take these people back? Because you fell down the steps on the first night, and I freaked out because everything is concrete in Mexico. And then Leo's freaking out, and I was like, oh my God, did I make a bad decision? Was this bad? I'm the only one that speaks Spanish and handles everything. So it is challenging for me because I feel like a lot of it is on my shoulders now. Yeah.
Interesting.
Welcome to This Might Be a Bad Idea. I'm Erica.
And I'm Jeff, and we're here to talk about what it takes to fit your entire life into 6 suitcases in a small plane with a cat in a bag and fly across country.
Spoiler, we didn't plan this very well.
Definitely not.
So, we took 6 suitcases. And the real reason why we did that was because we flew United Airlines, and we went first class. And with United Airlines, they give us 2 free suitcases for each passenger, up to 70 pounds. And then we paid for Leo, and then we paid for an additional suitcase for each person. So that was all we could essentially take, because that's all we could carry on the airline. So it was cheaper than shipping things out there by just putting everything on the plane with us. I know you and I talked a lot about driving down and going back and forth, and you really wanted to drive. So.
Drive, yes. Go through Texas and go through Mexico and see what kind of adventures we can get into.
And I thought that was a really bad idea. And
it is a very bad idea.
Because there is still the cartel that is around in Mexico. We actually know a guy, I know a guy through our Facebook groups, and that's all he does. He drives from the States back to Mexico, and he drives people's belongings and their pets, but he sends video of the cartel all the time, stopping people, and where he just has to turn around and go back or figure out a different route to go. So I didn't want to do that by ourselves,
Well, I'll say this. I heard more about the police than the cartels. I've heard the cartels really don't bother you so much. It's more the police and their shape.
A lot of people will shake you down regardless. And, I didn't want to risk that with all, electronics and anything that we have. And, carrying Leo for a long period of time would have been a nightmare for him being caged up that long. So, it was really hard to let go about a lot of stuff. So when I talk about that process.
So I guess we had 40 years of stuff that we had to stuff into 6 suitcases, 3 apiece.
Yeah.
And let everything else go. Toss everything or donate. And that was, like anything, a crazy process of getting rid of memories and everything that you had for the last 40 years.
Yeah, I know. I kept saying, okay, let's pack up. And that was probably in March. I was saying this, and, we left in July, and you kept saying, oh, we'll get it done. It won't be a big deal. And I'm like, yeah, well, and then we started planning our wedding, which then that overtook my life. So I didn't have time to stay on top of packing things and downsizing the house. So then we ended up packing up a house of our combined time together, plus all your stuff, my stuff, in a month, 30 days.
Yeah, ultimately we got married and we were packing everything up and moving outside of the U.S. within 30 days.
Yeah. We got married at the end of May, and then we had all of June pretty much to pack up and leave by July. By July 5th. We left on July 5th.
And the business that we dropped the product off at? Goodwill got really lucky because they got just a ridiculous amount of stuff that we had no other choice, but we had to let go and walk away from. There's definitely stuff that I miss that I think about, but then there's a lot of stuff that I don't miss and I really don't think about it. That would just be weighing me down.
So let's talk about your stuff that you decided to hide in the house.
So there was some stuff that I definitely knew I couldn't bring with me. I couldn't fit anywhere, but I didn't want to toss. Again, you're talking about memories
Yeah.
from, 30, 40 years. So I thought, okay, I'll sneak them in the house and I'll try to put them in a corner where hopefully no one will ever go to until I get back to get my stuff.
And so we do have people renting our home. And I'm very thorough about everything being put away because, again, we have renters in the house. So you never know what they're going to do with your stuff. So I did leave some stuff there for my mom to pick up and take to her home. So that way, when I come back and forth, I can take it back later. And then Jeff tells me, oh, yeah, by the way, I hid some stuff in the closet. And I was like, what? Because I know the renters were going to be like, what is this? Because they want to use the space. It's not like we had a lot of storage space in our home in the first place. We lived in Lion Gate in a townhome.
Very real.
And we didn't have a basement. Most of the homes have basements, but we didn't have the basement. So that under storage space is the storage space. And
I had a box under there and they'd never find it out.
And of course they would find it.
So I felt bad. I knew that I left it there and I knew that if they found it, they probably would have tossed it. And it was very important to me. So I just ended up hiring my son and he went and got it. And now it's safe in his house and I'll pick it up when I get back.
Yeah.
So everything worked out well.
Right. Yeah, you did let go of a lot of stuff.
Definitely let go things that, we bought that we probably didn't even use. A lot of stuff that we bought that we didn't really use that we just walked away and pretty much just gave up. Some lucky person or lucky family is using it and they're happy. Incredible deal they got at the thrift store.
Yeah, I know. So we did have some challenges there because we gave a lot of stuff to Goodwill. Some stuff was fragile. And we would give them, we're like, be careful with this. And the guy would just toss it into the bucket and everything would shatter. And we're like,
Yes.
I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish I could have given it to someone else because now it's now shattered and it's now useless. We could have just thrown it out in the trash if that was going to happen.
They hired the right person for that position.
Yeah, so it did kind of suck losing some stuff because I just felt like it could have gone to someone who wanted it or more useful. And
Definitely.
We tried to sell some things. We sold some larger pieces of our furniture in our home. But it's just a shame that a lot of stuff that we gave away. But then it also goes to show you, you just have so much useless stuff. I mean.
Well, and I did bring it up to the gentleman, but he just didn't care. I don't think he was paying attention a ton.
Yeah.
So, but, hopefully other families are using the stuff that we donated and, hopefully it's making their life easier.
Yeah. So we essentially got rid of a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath house.
Yes.
Now moving into a 4-bedroom, 5-bath house.
Yes.
More space and more stuff to decorate, I guess, and
and there's no means of bringing it over,
right?
Because we didn't drive a truck and stuff in there. So we could only bring 6 suitcases worth of items, and everything else was left behind. It's cool.
It is. I mean, we really essentially only bought clothes and some few essentials. And a lot of the clothes we got rid of because we wouldn't be wearing them in Mexico. I mean, it's hot here year round. I mean, I gave away stuff that still had tags on it, which is sad. I will be going back every quarter, but it's not like I need a lot of clothes. Anyway, I essentially wear the same thing every day in Mexico.
Yes.
So I actually bought too many clothes that I could have taken less clothes.
You did bring too many clothes. Way too many clothes. I guess it's always one of those things where we know now, know better.
Yeah, I mean, we actually overpacked. We actually overpacked because we had to get.
I don't think I am.
No, well, I overpacked.
I packed almost nothing.
So I bought storage containers because I like to organize everything in the house, and my bag was overweight. So I had 70 pounds of leverage that I could use, and then it was actually over 70 pounds. And I think most of it was my suitcase, to be honest. My suitcase is pretty heavy.
It was heavy. It was like bullet.
Yeah. But I took out, it was like storage bins that fold, and we were about to throw them away, and the the lady who works at the airline, she's like, no, I'll take those. She was very happy to take them. And she's like, every time I use them, I'll thank you guys on your new life in Mexico. So at least we gave something to someone else and they were going to treasure it.
Yeah, they'll
appreciate it. So
I'll remember the story.
So that was nice. I mean, other than that, security was pretty simple going through into, from the United States. And then once we landed in Mexico.
I did more juggling 6 bags and rolling them to the airport.
Well, we only had to do that for a little bit. I mean, wait.
Keeping them all together.
Hey.
So they're not running off.
I mean, literally, you did it from the curb to the front of the steps. It was like 6 steps.
6 giant bags.
It was 6 steps.
A lot of work.
It was not a lot of work.
It was like 3 kids.
It was not a lot of work. We got a cart for one day. We put everything on the cart, and then we pushed the cart to the lobby. So that was not that hard.
But I guess knowing that it's everything that we have in life, it's in those 6 bags at that point. Knowing that maybe some Spanish-speaking gentleman run off with it.
I don't even know.
Let's cancel that.
What if somebody... Every time you're like, something missing. Oh, someone took my stuff. It's disappearing.
Well, again, it's the worst case scenario. Having something and then, of course, it being gone. But most trucks bad.
But, yeah, I mean, you had Leo the whole time that you had carry Leo.
Yes, so we had Leo in a soft bag that the stewardess were questioning us even getting on the plane with them because they felt that the bag was too big. So ultimately, I had to stuff it underneath the seat in front of me, and I'm sure Leo didn't appreciate that for 3 hours.
No, he seemed fine. He was quiet the whole time. We did drug him.
Yes, we did give him some drugs.
We gave him some drugs. And
that was, of course, legal through the veterinarian.
Yes, it was from our veterinarian who, checked him before we left because we had to get a health certificate. And that was only really for the airline. Mexico didn't really care.
Do you hear that, Peter? It was okayed by our veterinarian.
Yes. We weren't just randomly driving our cat. But so, yeah, we got him through, and he does have a little tunnel where he can pop out. So during our layover, he got to come out and relax. And I think he enjoyed that. We sat in the lounge for a little bit in Houston.
Yeah.
And then when we came back to...
I think anybody that's going to travel like that with a cat, we would suggest that backpack because we were able to open it and create some sort of tunnel where you could walk back and forth. I think that was a huge help. I think he definitely didn't feel like a sardine in a sardine can.
Yeah, that was, that was one of the reasons why we got the bag, because we had another travel bag, which was a backpack. But then we were like, well, if he doesn't want to come out of his bag, how do we still let him be free and walk around? And so, I found that online on Amazon, and he can still be in his travel backpack, but he has a tunnel where he can walk back and forth. And
of course, we would suggest anybody getting the bag, getting it way earlier than when they're traveling. Yeah. That way you open it up, he feels comfortable in it. And I think that was a huge saver for us.
Yeah, that was recommended by our vet. We got the bag a couple months before we traveled, so he got comfortable with it. He was familiar with it. His scent was all over it. It's actually his favorite place when we got here.
Yes. And that was the same vet that gave us drugs for it.
Yes. Yes, I love that you keep mentioning us.
Just want to make sure everything looks legit.
But yeah, so, that went all well. And then we landed in Mérida. We flew it from Philly to Houston, from Houston to Mérida. And we landed and I had already had my temporary residency, so it was fine for me to come into the country. But Jeff was coming in as what they would call a foreigner, coming into the country, and they want to see your return ticket because they were like, you cannot stay here because you cannot say you're welcome. But our goal was obviously move down here. So he did not have a return ticket, and I was not going to buy a return ticket. But he did have an appointment with immigration. And what we did was a spousal unification because obviously we just got married in May and I already had my residency. So our lawyers, filed the paperwork. So essentially he had an appointment with immigration that same week. So this is me talking to immigration at customs, telling them that he doesn't need a return ticket, that we are applying for his residency. He should be getting his residency approved.
Well, I'd probably say it's more of my good looks and charm pushing me through, because they want my type of person living in Mexico.
I don't know about that. But anyway, I did show them the appointment that we did have, and she approved it and let him go through. So we were very thankful for that. And then we ended up going and waiting for our bags, which apparently, because I had very heavy bags, they came up first. We didn't wait that long. And then we met our driver.
Yes.
Who he told us what type of car we had. And we were like, wait, what?
I had the smallest car in Mexico. It fits 6 bags there. I'm still amazed about it.
Yeah, he had a Jetta, Volkswagen Jetta, and we're like, we have 6 bags and a cat and us.
Yes.
And he was like, oh no, I can fit the bags. And so I had to call my cousin, and my cousin picked up the humans, and the cat, and drove us back to our home. And then the Jetta took all our luggage. And then we ended up at our house.
Yes.
At 10 o'clock at night, I think.
10 o'clock at night, very late.
Yeah. We were pretty tired. It was a long day for Leo. And then we were a little worried about him, traveling that long distance. And so, yeah, it was a big adjustment.
And then, of course, it turns out that Leo was very scared, screamed pretty loud consistently through the entire night, I guess, because he just wasn't sure where he's at. But, eventually he adjusted and adapted, and now he's a happy cat.
Yeah, I mean,
And that's with no jokes.
Well, yeah, that first night was bad. I mean, he cried all night.
Yes.
Jeff slept on the couch, hoping that he would quiet down, but then Jeff passed out, and then all I heard was screaming. I heard screaming, so that I ended up taking Leo into the bedroom with me, closing the door so he wasn't as overwhelmed. He calmed down a little bit, but we had 2 weeks of Leo just, he didn't want to move. He was unhappy.
Yeah.
We were playing soothing music, cat soothing music. And we had to keep him in one room to make him feel comfortable. It was just too many sounds, it was too much of everything.
People walking.
He was overwhelmed. But now he's the happiest cat. He has his own room. He's very spoiled.
I didn't think, though, that would be such a big deal. I thought you would have adjusted, but the screaming when we got here, definitely,
that was hard.
It shook me a lot, not realizing that, it's not just us, right? We had a cat, and the cat has no idea where the cat is.
Well, I was like regretting it. I was like, oh my God, should I take these people back? Because you fell down the steps on the first night, and I freaked out because everything is concrete in Mexico. And then Leo's freaking out, and I was like, "Oh my God, did I make a bad decision? Was this bad? I mean, did we make a bad decision?" And I was like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna take these people back to the States." And I was really regretting everything. It was really hard for me because that was my biggest thing. My biggest anxiety was, it's one thing for me because I'm so used to traveling and going everywhere and adjusting, but having you and then having Leo trying to adjust to this is going to be harder. So,
Well, I mean, I think you overreacted personally for me. I mean, I've adjusted fine. We get here and we adjust to move forward. Leo definitely needed some time, and he did get it, enough time, and now he's great.
Well, I just want you all to be happy and healthy. So,
yes.
It's a little challenging. I'm the only one that speaks Spanish and handles everything. So it is challenging for me because I feel like a lot of it is on my shoulders now,
Interesting. Yeah. Of course it would be, right? Yeah. Because I don't speak the language, so it's very difficult for me to read or understand what they're saying. So I'm relying on you a ton, but I think, I think for you want to get your Spanish, you want to be speaking Spanish better. So it's good to have it around us. And I'll eventually learn Spanish, and eventually we'll have a conversation, isn't it?
So what do you miss the most about the States?
I mean, I guess like anyone would probably answer family. I think other than that, that's it. I think family and maybe some foods that you don't have here.
Yeah. And what
But I think that's about
don't you miss?
I mean, the craziness of the United States. I think the hustle and bustle of the United States.
Yeah.
Of always trying to get ahead, not realizing just to enjoy what you have today. Because, we're not given tomorrow until tomorrow.
That's true. So would you downsize more or pack differently?
I would definitely pack differently. I would pack probably a week before I would pack. I'm sorry, a week before we would go, I would actually end up packing everything that I would have, knowing that what I'm looking at on the floor is everything that I'm bringing. And that way then I won't be rushed and you can look at what should be there and what shouldn't be there. Just be more organized, grab stuff, that would be better used here than, not here.
So the big question is, would we do it again?
Well, of course we could do it again. But I'm sure there would be some adjusting to, the packing process, the flying process. But I think everything went over very, very smooth, right? I mean, our plane didn't go down, so that's always positive, right?
Yeah.
Aren't swimming in the Gulf of America.
As Steve's dad used to say, it's better than a stick in the eye.
Sure, it is definitely better than a stick in the eye.
But that's our bad idea this week. So send us any of your bad packing stories that you might want to tell us.
And please subscribe so you don't miss next week. Our pool problems are just beginning.
Well, yeah, pool and water problems. Thanks for tuning in.